I grew up in San Diego. San Diego is my hometown, and specifically in the neighborhood of City Heights. And back then, especially in the 1980s and 1990s, it has been a traditionally underserved neighborhood. I am first generation in every sense. First generation American, first generation high school graduate and college graduate, and certainly the first one in my family to get a PhD. I'm the daughter of Vietnamese refugees, so we're ethnically Chinese, and my family has gone through a series of war to basically get us to where we are today. My dad was an assembler, and an assembler working at Sony Electronics, and when I think about him bent over the assembly line for 8 hours a day straight, and his calloused hands weaving behind TV monitors at the time and working so hard to put food on the table, it's a huge lesson for me, because he would constantly say to us, my brother and myself, that you have to have an education, because an education is a ticket to a better job and to a better future. Here, when I'm home down the street where my old house used to be, of course it brings back memories of my parents and how much they have sacrificed for my brother and myself. I really wouldn't be here in doing what I do today, going to college, getting a PhD, doing science, being able to teach and be a professor if it weren't for my parents. And my parents basically supporting me and making sure that, like, not only was I dreaming, but that I could reach those dreams. The first person that comes to mind when I stand here at Wilson Middle School is my 8th grade science teacher, Mrs. Carol Branson-Kruger. And Mrs. Branson-Kruger made a huge impact on my life and the trajectory that I went on. I don't think I would have had opportunities for growth or opportunities to even develop a passion in science if it weren't for her. Several different teachers, in addition to Mrs. Carol Branson-Kruger, wanted to see me go to a place where more resources were being offered and where I could be more challenged in the academic setting. And so I was sent to Scripps Ranch High, which is a very different neighborhood from City Heights. And I specifically remember a moment in which a fellow student had mentioned that they couldn't pronounce my name and asked if they could just call me something else. And so that hit me really hard, and I felt a little ashamed and timid about it even. As a professor here, I always want to give them that sense of belonging and to make it meaningful, to actually ask them, what does belonging mean to them? I don't think it's any coincidence that I study symbiosis, and I kind of like it that way, actually, that, you know, I'm studying symbiosis as a research topic. I am studying the symbiosis between corals, sea anemones, and these microorganisms that live inside of them, such as little tiny algae and bacteria. Coral reefs have enormous ecological, economic, and aesthetic value in that they are important to a bunch of different animals and plants in the ocean to support biodiversity, and they also protect our coastlines. And they are a source of fisheries, and our food comes from coral reefs as well. So what I study has an enormous impact on how these coral reefs will survive into the future if we don't solve this coral bleaching and global climate change problem. my students, when they are working on their research projects and doing science, it really is about solving a problem. We are really training the next generation of biologists who can really change the future. That fits into the bigger mission of what we do at USD here in creating the leaders of tomorrow.